Is this the most beautiful drive in the St. George, Utah area? Let's find out.
Let's go for a ride. So we're starting out, we're technically in the city of St. George.
We're on Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, but we're quickly going to be leaving St. George. So we just thought we would highlight this particular drive. You could start in St. George, obviously the St. George area. I mean, it's a small area. So we just thought we would highlight just how beautiful this particular drive is. It's one of the most beautiful drives. I think it does a good job of just showing just the beauty of like the everyday living here. So,
and especially in the summer, one place you may be going to fairly consistently is Sand Hollow Aquatic Center, because that is an indoor pool, little, again, I hesitate to say water park, but they do have some water park-ish features. And so there's lap pool, there's all this stuff. And so we're now entering Santa Clara, so we're right here.
So yeah, we've left the city of St. George and now we're in Santa Clara. So Santa Clara is super cute. One of the interesting things about the St. George region is that even though it's small, there's so many little pockets that feel so different. And you'll see that as we travel from Santa Clara into Ivins, which is just north of Santa Clara, but it feels totally different. So you can find a lot of different, just like different essences of how you want to live your life, right? So Santa Clara, especially this little old town portion, it is so cute. It just has this old country charm. It actually used to be where there are still some fruit stands here, but it used to be like all fruit businesses.
So this is the historic district.
This is the historic district.
So it's kind of like a main street, right? It's really cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Santa Clara River's off to, I guess, our left, and so it's not as significant as the Virgin River, but I think it feeds into a Virgin River, right?
I don't think it feeds into the Virgin River, but it is a water source for us. So, and it is another reason why, even though we're an hour and 45 minutes away from Las Vegas, it feels a lot different here. Obviously, it's still the desert, right? It's still desert, but it doesn't feel as deserty as Las Vegas, I don't feel like, because we have those two rivers.
So we're just north of St. George, right? You want to give a sense of like how far we are from city center, like from downtown?
Okay, so how far from downtown is...
Town Square. So just to give you a sense, because we have this ongoing joke that everything's like 15 minutes away from everything, and Town Square Park, which is the center of St. George, they're downtown, it's about 13 minutes away. Yeah. So again, we're super close still, even though you feel like a world away from downtown St. George.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see how all the homes that are along this street, they are just older. There's a lot of, there's like an antique shop right there. There's a few museums around here. So it's just super cute.
So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sean Dazad.
And I'm Courtney Dazad.
And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love St. George. I love the red rocks. I love the beautiful weather. I can't wait to move it here. Now, the problem is I'm not local and maybe a state and maybe even out of the country, so I don't know what to do. And I totally get that. That's when to reach out to us so we can have that conversation. We work with a team that has over 40 years of experience here selling homes in St. George itself. So we know all the nooks and crannies, really can direct you to that right property. So when you do come out here, your time is spent super efficiently. So what you want to do is when you give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. Cute.
But just going in though, like there's some like mansions and newer construction as well. So very different vibe, just a couple layers in, right? You have to go too far to kind of get very more, if you're looking for something like you like this whole vibe, like the tree line street and all that stuff, but you wanted something a little bit more newer, a little bit bigger kind of thing, you can certainly get that. You can just make a left down the street here and totally different vibe. And again, like we said, about 13 minutes from Town Square, about 15 minutes, give or take, from St. George Regional Hospital. So you're not very far if you want to get, and that's a pretty, really highly rated hospital here.
Yeah, so here, there's a bridge just to the left of us when you can start seeing some of the more new construction homes. It goes over the Santa Clara River. So, and then you may, wonder, there has been flooding in the past near the Santa Clara River. I think it was the 90s that they had like a big flood. The Army Corps of Engineers obviously has done like a ton of work.
That's the 1990s, depending on when you're watching this video.
Yeah. So the Army Corps of Engineers has done a lot of work to help prevent flooding, but obviously, if you want to get the maps and what the experts say in terms of flood zones, you know, please reach out to us.
And also we have bike paths to the right, so this is a nice little segue into, we have paths everywhere. So if, you know, like St. George, the greater St. George area is known for the outdoor lifestyle, and we have this this bike path system that is being more interconnected by the day. It's kind of incredible what's been going on. And so what's nice is that you know, if you're into like cycling, if you're into running, into hiking or rucking, I've heard, you know, that's a new thing, I guess. So people like partake in this all the time. And then as you can see in front of us, that's the Red Mountain right there. I mean, just absolutely beautiful, you know, like views. And so now we're entering into Ivins itself. So we just passed through Santa Clara.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Now you can see that it is a little bit of a different vibe here in Ivins. Ivins, in a lot of ways, it reminds me of like Santa Fe, New Mexico. Probably because you got like Snow Canyon State Park off to the right there with all the beautiful red rocks, and then you have the Red Mountain. So yeah, I mean, we're going to take you to Cayenta. We'll end at Cayenta where you can see the Red Mountain. You can just see how you get so many different vibes depending on where you are in the greater St. George region. Yeah, and again,
the architecture is kind of a little bit more different. The view is really, like in the showcase view, is the Red Mountain. I mean, it's just spectacular views. And, you know, some of these homes, I mean, that the view you'd almost take over an ocean view, which just sounds crazy to say. But it's just, again, just absolutely breathtaking. See? You see a cyclist right there. Proving our point.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a cyclist.
So, just so you know, as far as Santa Clara and, you know, Ivins is concerned, particularly Ivins doesn't have a lot of retail establishments, right? Ivins has some fantastic golf courses though. Like, so so basically Entrada has a golf course that went through over, I believe, a $7 million renovation. So it's an amazing community that has that. But then on top of that, you have the Black Desert Resort, which is just the creme de la creme of golf resorts in the area. If you're looking for the best golfing in the area, as far as the most picturesque, like the highest, just the new shiny, object, right? Like that is the one to go to, where it's even had PGA events as well.
Yeah, so it's had an PGA event, and then it's going to have an LPGA event. It's one of the few places in the country that has both. So.
Yeah, so so if you're into, but so what we were saying before, that you don't have a ton of retail establishments. Santa Clara does have a little bit more for sure. Like they have Harmon's, which is kind of like a Whole Foods light, I guess, kind of market. And then they have some retail, but really the vast majority of the retail in the greater St. George area is St. George, as well as the city of Washington, which is next door to it. And then you'll see a lot of these homes, they're single level homes, kind of by design. This idea is to kind of blend more into the landscape. So it's not this, McMansion that's just this albatross that's this huge and taking up, just kind of taking away from the picturesque scenery here.
Yeah, in Ivins, there's a lot of Adobe style out here. That seems to be a pretty popular architecture style out in Ivins. Not that there aren't other places where it's popular, but it's particularly popular out here.
Yeah, and you'll have different developments that are basically, they have a different take on how to kind of tread lightly with nature, I guess. So for instance, we're driving towards Kayenta, which has been one of our more popular videos because people just are absolutely fascinated by this area, which I appreciate because it is pretty incredible. Because one, there's some really strict rules. So if you don't like a strict HOA, just look the other way from Cayenta. It's not for you, because they really take this treading lightly really seriously. They're very big on getting rid of light pollution. So they're strict on even the lighting has to be direct downward facing and not spreading out. So you're so you can actually see the stars really come out at night. And then also just how you blend into the scenery. I believe that you can only build on, I think, 1/3 of the lot size. And so a lot of these lots are actually pretty good size, like half acre, maybe an acre. But the footprint of the house itself, which tends to be only one story, can can only take up about 30% of it. But what you get because of that is that almost all these homes have really good views. And of course, as you get closer to the Red Mountain, the views are just absolutely spectacular. Like the living rooms have like ceiling to floor to ceiling, like windows, just to really take in these views, because it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, so we're gonna end with some pretty spectacular views of the Red Mountain. Just to reiterate again, this is a beautiful drive in the greater St. George region. I just thought it would be a fun little video to show people, what people have that live here. It makes it, I think a lot of times you don't even really appreciate it, just like anywhere you live, right? You're just like, whatever, like it's just another day.
And if you decide to do this drive, your reward for ending up in Kayenta Arts Village is that you get to go to Zetava if you so choose, which is a fantastic restaurant. I really enjoy them. They have really good burgers. They have like waffles. They have like a really good brunch as well. And their quality of ingredients is really high, so they're a fun place to go to.
Yeah, and they also have the Rusted Cactus, which is dinner. It's only open
dinner
for
and bar.
Yeah, dinner and bar. Zetava is more like, breakfast, brunch, and dinner. And the Rusted Cactus is a little bit more pricey, but it's the same restaurant group, so it's also very good.
Yeah, so we're actually in Kayenta itself, and what you'll notice is that as you're driving through, so you'll see, like, if you're like look closely, like these homes kind of just blend into the landscape for the most part. Mm-hmm. And you don't even realize how many homes there are here until you get to a higher elevation, so you can see all the rooftops. Because as you drive at the level, at street level, they just kind of blend in to their credit. Again, you don't have cars parked on the side of the road. They're just they want to keep that vibe. So if that resonates, Kayenta is the place, because there's really nowhere else like that to really like it in the area.
I know, Kayenta is so beautiful. It kind of, even though it looks different than Zion, it gives me the same sort of like feeling, right? It's just so calm and just like nice, and you just feel like you're on vacation every time you come out here.
Yeah, and also just so you know, like there's no filter we're putting on this. Like that mountain is really just this incredible red color. It's just beautiful. I mean, again, like being in a house that actually has that view. I mean, I don't even know how you get anything done, because you're just kind of like lost in that view there.
So we'll just finish off by driving around, just kind of showing you the views here. Again, it's a very different feel than Santa Clara, which was 10 minutes away, right? So we're 10 minutes away from a totally different vibe, a totally different feel. Both very charming, both just really nice. So.
Yeah, and if you're interested in the art scene, like, so Kayenta Art Village has a bunch of little galleries and that kind of stuff, as well as, again, they have Zetava, which is a breakfast brunch dinner place, and then the Rusted Cactus, which is a dinner/bar kind of venue.
Yeah, so as you get closer to the mountain, you can see there's some, newer lots that people are building on or had just recently built on. So super pretty.
Yeah, you'll see some two-story properties here, but in general, it's one story. Again, just to preserve that view for your neighbors and, of course, just people traveling in the area.
Yes.
And remember, I am a licensed realtor here in the state of Utah, so as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you're going to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.